My Life Between Lives story from Newton Train Institute practitioners.
I see a whole change in the thrust of searching for answers about who we are and why we're here. And I think it's wonderful, and I just hope the movement continues to expand.
Let us expand the universal consciousness together with a My Life Between Lives story presented by the Michael Newton Institute.
Welcome, beautiful friends. This is My LBL Story. My name is Ekomananda. Today, my special guest is Paul Orant. Paul is a best-selling author of Essential Healing, who is based in New York City. Paul is also an award-winning master hypnotherapist, who is also a hypnotherapy instructor who has worked in the field over 30 years. Paul is the former president and education director of the Michael Newton Institute. A big warm welcome to Paul. Thank you for coming to the show.
Really, thank you for having me. It's nice to be with you again.
You as a pioneer doing the work, does that have any impact with your book, Essential Healing?
Yes, I think the Essential Healing book came out of doing this work for years. And what it is that by going back through childhood, womb, past life, and to spirit, I saw certain patterns developing, that there were certain essential healings or necessary healings that many of us needed to achieve. And I saw people sometimes getting stuck wanting to go to spirit and being unable to. And so I started to identify those kind of blocks or things that needed to be addressed before they could go on into spirit. Right. And so there were certain themes that came from both my near-death experience and from doing LBL work. And so the basic concept is that we have a kind of protection over us, basically to protect our heart from being hurt again in a relationship or in life in some way. I have a very active mental mind, as do most people. And at first it thought something bad would happen if I went into more spiritual experiences, thought my life would fall apart. So I really had to talk with my mental mind. First off, I had to realize I'm not my mind. It kind of wanted me to believe that I was it, but I'm much more than it. And so coming to peace with the mind, or getting the mind to get on board as an ally rather than enemy, and then going through some of the layers of protection, going through some of the pain that I held in my heart from different losses, were all necessary to get towards the core me, right? And then hearts therapy is something I've always really enjoyed working with, found very effective, and talking to different parts. And some of them, like the protector, can stand in the way of this work. And some of them are resources, like the wise one within, who's like, yeah, finally you're back. You're doing something beyond your mind and ego. And the wise one within has great wisdom and strength that then allowed me to reconnect more with my soul self, my authentic me. And as that authentic me, as my soul self, it was much easier to connect with my guide and then go on and do the more spiritual work that I needed to do. So it's not instead of LBL, but it's a really good preparation for it so that I can be more my soul self to do that work. And the book is full of many, many practices, over 50 practices in there that someone can do that are sort of step by step. I'm a big fan of self-therapy, right? I don't want people to have to keep coming to me over and over. And so I like to give the tools so that people can use them and do their own self-development.
Is there a gift, a small exercise you can give away to our audience, consciousness raising exercise?
Sure.
Help us to connect to the higher self, which is part of the core Michael Newton Institute philosophy as well.
Absolutely. Sure. So it's very simple. Do you want to do it here now?
Sure.
I mean, we can do it in a minute. So
Yeah.
first, is close your eyes. You take a couple of breaths. A lot of this is on my YouTube channel too. Take a couple of breaths and just come into the present moment. Feel yourself breathe. Feel your body. And then take a few moments to observe your thoughts. Just notice what it is that you hear your mind saying. And by observing my thoughts, I'm stepping out of my mind, being more my higher self, my higher consciousness. And usually mind will be doing one of three things. It's kind of going down its list, or it's saying, you can do this, it's assisting. Or, much to my amazement, it's quiet. The moment mind is quiet, which is really nice. And then I move my consciousness in my body to my chest, my heart center. Putting my hand there helps. I breathe into my hand on my heart center, not the organ, but the center of feelings and emotions. And I invite my heart to open. Sometimes there's a heart protection, and we work with that. As I open heart and breathe and feel into it, I start to notice the feelings and emotions that I carry in my heart. There's some sadness, there's some joy, there's some contentment. And I really teach that the heart's the doorway, not the brain, the mind, but the heart's the doorway to the inner world. With heart open, acknowledging some of the feelings and emotions, not taking a lot of time to deal with them unless we have to. And then diving in. I can dive in through heart, through the layers of projection, experiences, beliefs. And then it's easier to either connect with the wise one within, my own wise woman or wise man or wise one, or even deeper towards the very core of myself, my soul essence. And some of us are disconnected from that or put it away for safekeeping, but that's the path, that's the journey, is to core self, reconnecting with that and inviting it to come forward to fill me, expand beyond the limits of my body, and to live from that whole self and to fill my life, my words, my actions. And that's a really fast and abbreviated version, but that's one I can offer.
Thank you so much. I'm immediately went up there connecting to my soul.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I feel I did as well.
That's how
Everything looks
we can easily connect to body, mind, and soul. Remind us we are not the body, we are not the mind.
We're much more.
Yes, we are absolutely much more. I wanted to go back to that belief system, the challenges that I have seen in some of the practitioners. I guess that's also one of the major hurdle everybody actually experiencing, that why we actually experience these challenges, why we go through trauma. Do you have any advice or tips for people to take away how to get over of that belief system that mind is controlling the body? We are defined ourselves with our physical identity.
I would say that it's natural to ask why, but it's asking why that often causes us to get stuck. Because often things don't make sense, and you cannot make sense of nonsense. So why can become a glue that keeps us stuck. Rather than saying why, I say, what can I learn from this? We lost our son a year ago, and I can be and why forever. And yeah, I understand some of the reasons behind it from doing deeper work, but what can I learn from it was a much more freeing, much more successful, much more beneficial question that has helped me heal and move forward. So I say, ask, what can I learn? Why did I get hit by lightning? People told me all kinds of stories, but that wasn't helpful at all. What did I learn from it? Tremendously helpful.
Thank you for sharing that. Very valuable, priceless advice. I remember one of my friends shared the same thing. She said, I kept on asking myself why. And one day I hear that voice saying to me, to whom is this question being asked?
Mm-hmm.
And to whom is this question being answered? And to whom this question is necessary to be answered? And to whom the lesson is delivered? And that dissolves the question of why.
Brilliant.
And then you have some training coming up this year, the transpersonal and regression training.
Yeah, transpersonal hypnotherapy in September, 2 3-day weekends, and then transpersonal regression therapy, childhood, womb, and past life, 2 3-day weekends in October
That would be
on my
online
website.
or
It'll be online.
worldwide. We can
Worldwide.
can join and learn.
So from all around the world. Yeah. It's such a pleasure. It's so wonderful.
And what sort of benefit can someone gain from this if they are already in the healing field? They're thinking, contemplating on ideas.
Mm-hmm. You know, I was doing breath work and I was doing hands-on energy work, healing with people, and some counseling, but really this transpersonal hypnotherapy and regression therapy put all the pieces together for me. So I'm glad I had the experiences I had that I brought to it, but it gave me very effective, very powerful tools and techniques that I could use to facilitate much better sessions for people. And it gave me an opportunity to work under supervision I took trainings where I watched the master work and thought, oh, brilliant. But afterwards was like, well, I don't know how to do that. And so when I teach with lecture, I teach with demonstration and then supervised practice. And for me, that's really the best combination to really learn to do something. And it's an opportunity for our own personal growth too, which I think is so important if you're going to be facilitating. You don't have to have everything in your life or self-resolved, but it's good that you've done a fair amount of work on yourself as well. And so the training gives you a chance to not only deliver sessions, but to receive them and help with your own growth as well.
Absolutely. I felt the foundation is really important to step by step. And then at one point, all things were coming together and so useful. And we develop our own character in delivering a session.
Absolutely. I don't want to create clones, but I want to give as much of what I've learned from doing sessions mostly to people who are attending the course so that they can take that and integrate that into their practice or start a new practice themselves.
And so the best way for people to contact you is through your website, pauloren.com.
Yeah, that's it.
Your book is there, and you also have a YouTube channel as well.
I do. Yeah. Thank you so much, Apple.
Wonderful, Paul. It's an absolute pleasure to have you and learning from your wisdom, your spiritual connection, and you are a true master. I am honored. Thank you for coming.
And good luck with your next one.